Switch sales stay super strong as Nintendo divulges their new financials. What's going on, everybody? It's Zach from Switch Force, and we just got the report that Nintendo has officially sold 4.7 million Switch consoles. Now, this is as of June 30th. The number is inevitably higher. We're already almost done with July, and Splatoon 2 was a pretty big game for a lot of people in terms of putting off a Switch purchase. So that number is probably well over 5 million at this point, but it is going so good for Nintendo. After selling 2.74 million units in the first month, now their 4-month total is 4.7, and it seems like 10 million is definitely within range for the first year, especially with a holiday season and an upcoming Super Mario Odyssey, plus a much more well-rounded game lineup as we continue through the months. Also, software doing insanely well. We're almost at a 3-game per console attach rate, which I feel is pretty darn strong. They've sold 13.6 million games, and leading the way within that breakdown is Zelda Breath of the Wild, of course, now at 3.92 million in sales, which is still an insanely high percentage of all Switch owners. The interesting one, though, is how well Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has sold, 3.54 million. I think we knew that it would push big numbers, especially given the popularity of that franchise and the lower install base of the Wii U, now getting this deluxe version on Switch, which has a fire behind it, but 3.54 million creeping up near Zelda with less time, and that is a port. Now, you could look at this as fantastic news that the games are selling like hotcakes, or you could look at this as slightly negative news that a port is doing incredibly well, and that could lead Nintendo to do the same with some other games. I don't think that's all a bad thing. We know that they are heavily invested in making new games and even innovating with new IP, so even if they do choose to bring a few more Wii U ports, I don't think it's the end of the world. We also have fantastic news in that ARMS has sold over 1 million. They've sold 1.18 million copies of ARMS thus far, and that is in less than a month. That is June 16th through June 30th, which is, I think, freaking incredible for a game that is a brand new IP, for a game that people were a little bit worried about. Would it end up being fun? Would it have enough content? And a game that sits in more of a niche genre, that's got to be a real victory for Nintendo. 1-2 Switch has also pushed 1.22 million units, doing real well, and you gotta love this as a Nintendo fan. I think the more these numbers continue to climb, the more third parties will be encouraged. The one caveat there is these are all Nintendo games, and traditionally Nintendo games outpace everything by large margins on Nintendo consoles. So you have that slight catch-22 of the more these games sell, does that just continue to perpetuate this Nintendo-only ecosystem? But I guess with this many Switches out there, there is a lot of room and a lot of demand, especially with about 3 games per console thus far, 4 months in, as we approach Black Friday and Thanksgiving and Christmas. It wouldn't surprise me, especially with releases like Mario, Fire Emblem, Xenoblade, if that number of about 3 pieces of software per user increase, just as the game lineup expands. It's, you know, you feel like that's going to happen. Of course, new users will probably still only have a couple games, but current users, part of this 4.7 million, will continue to buy. So it's looking really good. Let us know in the comments down below if you are surprised, impressed, disappointed, what your thoughts are on these figures. Again, 4.7 million Switches in 4 months, well on their way to 10. Breath of the Wild still leading the way, but Mario Kart 8 Deluxe very close at 3.54. Give us your take. Thank you so much for watching. Have a fantastic day. Congrats to Nintendo. And until next time, Switch Force out.